Hi, Don.
Hi, Jacob.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hey, guys.
Look, we have a special guest.
Hello. Am I your first?
Yes.
You are.
So be easy.
Ooh. I'm your first. I'm very excited about that.
Yes.
Well, explain yourself. Who are you?
I am Stephanie Caldwell. I own Caldwell Photographic Studio. I've known these two crazy people for
A very long time.
over a decade.
Over a decade.
Over
Yeah.
a decade. Well over a decade.
Jacob
So.
probably longer.
2011.
Yeah.
And I was 2014.
So long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
We have shot many weddings together
Yes.
and many events together, both of us.
Yes.
Yes.
We all have worked for Disney together.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you've heard us reference Stephanie in previous episodes. So
Yes.
this is the Stephanie.
This is me.
Cool.
What are we talking about today?
So today we are all going to share a little bit about our favorite pictures we've ever taken. Now, this is a really hard thing for us to pick. None of
Ugh.
us could actually narrow it
The
down
worst.
to one.
The
So-
worst.
It's going to be a reoccurring series.
Yes.
Our favorite photo ever as of this month.
Right now.
Yeah.
So Jacob, why don't you start us off?
All right. So my favorite photo, as you will see up on the screen, was a photo I did at Epcot.
Mm.
And you guys have obviously
I remember
seen
this
Mhm.
one. Yeah.
Yes. So the bride was a dancer at the time. So I said, we need to do a dancing photo. Now, whatever that means, we'll find out.
Yeah.
And we'd done a Magic Kingdom session, and then we were on our second leg into Epcot. And we had done a bunch of Epcot stuff. And I can't even remember at this time if China was on her list or not.
Mm.
But somehow we ended up in China. And if you've been inside China, in the theater, right in the lobby, there is a giant dome. Huge dome. It's lit. It's gorgeous. And I just kind of came together and said, this is what it needs to be.
Mhm.
And so I'm actually on a 14, so I'm very wide. And I am laying down on the ground to try and not get that distortion. And I had her do multiple kicks like this. And my assistant is actually booming the light. It's way up tall and
Oh,
coming
really?
down. Yeah, because look at the dress, as you can see.
Mhm.
It would blocked, the first couple, it blocked everything because of my angle. So I needed the light to come all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
And it literally, I took probably 30 photos and one came out.
I'm sensing a recurring theme
Yeah.
with Jacob's pictures.
Yeah, so I get lucky. I get lucky one time. But just, I did nothing this was all her, so I can take zero credit for
Yeah.
it. But I absolutely love this photo. I love the backdrop. It just, I don't know.
Did you tell her like the idea of what you wanted, or did you just say like do some sort of dance move?
It started with show me some dance moves, and then once I saw what she was doing,
Mhm.
then we started fine tuning it.
And what she could do in her
Yeah, and
dress.
this is all, remember, real time while trying to have my assistant do this, all happening in 30 seconds. But that move, I remember the first couple didn't have that dress flare up,
Mhm.
so I was like, really kick it up, really, and she did. She nailed it. There's nothing Photoshop about that image. There is no extra editing. That is pretty much straight out of camera.
So you're seeing like the inside of the rotunda kind of the theater. That was just all available light,
Yep.
like how it's lit for the
I
show.
did not light anything of it. That's all the Disney lighting, and then obviously you can see the daylight from outside.
Mhm.
And again, I am laying on my back. Her feet, if you can see this, are pretty close. Like she's almost jumping over my feet. Like you can't see it, but my feet would almost be
Oh,
touching
I see.
her
So you were
dress.
like,
Yeah,
oh, okay.
because of course I did it at first, kind of at her, and then I couldn't get the rotunda,
Mhm.
and then I went too far, and then she got real stretched out.
Mhm.
So that was kind of the final result where I had to lay down, get her in so she's not real jacked up, and then get the rotunda too.
Mm-hmm. I don't go into China very often.
You should.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
It's
really the
so
best
far
shot.
away
That's
from.
really.
Yeah.
But if you want one really cool shot,
Right.
There's a couple outside, but
Yeah.
that one's a really cool shot.
Yeah.
but it just worked. I have 1,000 other photos that I love more than anything. But yeah. And if Nicole, you're seeing this, fun fact: I was walking. This is in May of 2024, so this year,
Mhm.
last year, this year, and I'm walking through Times Square. There are a million people in Times Square.
I've heard that. Yeah.
And I just go, Nicole, And she's
No
like,
way.
Jacob? Yeah, that was.
Wait,
that's
does
her.
she live in New York?
Yeah, they live. I don't think
Okay.
they live in the city. I think they live right outside of it.
That's
But
wild.
just like, but still, in a million people walking
Right.
through, I was just like, I know
Right.
her. And, of
And
course, my
also for
brain-
him to like actually say her name,
Right.
Well,
Well,
because-
she's pretty memorable.
names like
Yeah.
kind of pass through us
Yeah.
as we.
oh, totally. Well, and to have that, to recognize her fast
Yes.
enough and recall her
Right.
name fast enough.
Correct.
I wish you
When
could
we're,
have.
Yeah.
you weren't supposed to be seeing
I
her.
wish you could have
Yeah.
seen my brain though. Like it was like probably
It just
like,
locked
It was
in.
like a camera
Yeah.
autofocus, eye focus, like it focused, and then it did like a bunch of Jason Bourne stuff where it's pulling up
Yeah.
databases of like name brands, know her.
Tony Stark.
Tony Stark,
I remember.
exactly.
But meanwhile, I'm probably just like, huh?
Nicole?
Yeah. And then I just went, Nicole. And she looked. I was like, got it.
That's so funny. I feel that way about when I run into people I know in airports in other cities. Like cities that neither of us
Mhm.
live near.
Right.
And like, why are we all here right now?
Yeah.
How did this happen? So,
But yeah, like I said, you'll see the photo up all over the place. It's been on my social media. I know Disney Weddings posted it, and it went pretty big for a long time. But that photo is
well, it's unique because
8 years old now at this point, and I
And-
still love it.
that old?
It might be. It
Mm.
was definitely 2018-ish, 17, 18, 19. No, not 19.
Oh, so yeah, that's a long time ago.
Because they were married and did a bridal portrait, and then they came back and did another session. And I was only the second on their wedding, but I then did their bridal portraits, and they came back like a year later.
Yeah. I feel like every time I go to Epcot, everyone wants to go to France and Italy and Morocco.
Canada.
Yeah, maybe Canada if the
Mhm.
flowers look pretty. But I don't often go around to China. And it's not like it's in between all the other stuff. I could just be like, pop in. I
No.
promise it's worth it. Like, you
even-
have to be.
It's
Committed.
off. Yeah, it's off the beaten path
Even
for
this
sure.
photo doesn't work like if you're just standing there as a couple. Like you're gonna get
No.
too stretched out.
Mhm.
So it
Yep.
almost is pointless to go there unless you're gonna do something wild like that.
Yeah. Or like Stephanie said, the outside grounds are
Yeah,
pretty.
absolutely.
Yeah,
But yeah.
So that was my
and I do have to say, photographing dancers.
Yeah.
It's something like you never photograph. You know what I mean? Dancers just they know where to put their hands. They know. You know what I mean? Like,
That's
and
what-
to get that shot in like that second is pretty amazing.
and that's why
yeah.
I said I take no credit. I take all the credit
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
I also take zero credit for
No
it
credit.
because I did not pose this.
No.
I did not create
But
this.
you should absolutely take all that credit.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But as you said, like it was a little bit more like I love your hands. Flare the dress out
Yeah.
a little bit more.
Mhm.
But she understood immediately.
Right.
Mhm.
She already knew.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
I
Who's
agree.
next?
All right, Stephanie, you're going to go next.
Okay.
So, this is one of your favorite
Yes,
photos ever.
it is.
I like it.
And you know, the thing about this photo, his butt had to be perfectly, on the starburst for me to capture this.
First off, it's a gift.
So this was a very much of a team effort for us.
Too.
So, and I think it came out beautifully.
I don't think you can take all the credit for it. This is again.
I didn't. I said it
your
was a
model
team.
is what sold this.
So, for anyone who's just listening, Stephanie provided a beautiful image of Jacob's backside.
Yeah, I'm doing a little bending over.
With,
And he is
With
clothed.
a-
he is fully clothed.
yes,
So just
with a nice little flare, starburst
Oh.
out of the speedlight that was
My
behind
lovely
him.
F-14 starburst coming right out of my tush.
Okay, but really,
Yeah.
Stephanie has a different picture to talk
it's
about.
this one. Yes. This is actually an engagement session. Sure, we could probably figure out where it is.
You can say it. It's okay.
Okay, all right. Well, we were at Universal. We were doing this engagement session. This happened to be during Halloween Horror Nights one year, probably back in 2018,
Yeah, it was.
maybe
Yeah.
19.
Well, they got married in December of 2019.
But we did their session months before, so it was 19.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I remember 2019.
Yeah.
December of 2019.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Wait, this is the hard couple?
This is the
Okay.
couple. Yeah, this is actually the couple with the loogie.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're bringing
Yeah.
it all
See?
together.
Yeah, it's all circled back. So if you know anything about Universal and Halloween Horror Nights, they have a tribute. Well, they actually have two tribute stores. One is for Halloween Horror Nights, and the other one is just a normal one they have on a daily. This one was specific to that year because Stranger Things was like the big house
Yep.
that
Mhm.
year. And I am a huge Stranger Things fan. So this was like the epitome of like everything that I love in a photo. It's got the lights. It's got it's snow. I did not put that snow in there. This
Really?
was pretty much,
No.
nope.
That room did the.
It snowed.
In
Yep.
the tribute store?
Or not snowed, but it was like
Yeah,
the
the
particles or
But
whatever.
it still was snow.
Yes, exactly.
We're
Tight
trying to do a podcast
Yeah.
here.
I know.
I'm not cutting this.
As Dawn kills herself,
This is now a
Do-
Stephanie and Jacob
do we
podcast.
continue? Okay,
We're not
Dawn.
cutting this. Leave this all in.
Yes, all of Dawn's coughing.
Drink. Oh my God, Dawn.
She sounds like you on our wedding. So anyway, so basically, this was in a hallway. And if you know anything about the tribute store, it is tight. There's like 0 places for me to back up.
10,000 guests.
10,000 guests walking around me. Jacob with a light, to the left of left of her.
Yeah.
And then we threw in a red light somewhere, and I can't even remember where we put it. We put it somewhere. Because I don't know.
That was just their lighting too.
Some of it, yeah, in the back
was-
part,
yeah.
but we did put a red gel on them.
Mhm.
I think you were like double fisting it,
Oh, I
actually.
was. Absolutely. In the time-
I think you had 2 lights. You were double fisting it, actually, because this has been so long ago. I can't remember exactly how I did it, but this was a 30-second, not even, that's even giving it too much time. I think we did this in like 15 seconds.
Easily.
Yeah. So yeah, ultimately probably my favorite, because it said everything about the couple. It said everything about Stranger Things, the demodog coming out at them, their love for horror nights and, all things
the fact that you
spooky.
had a couple that wanted to do engagement, like with
Yes.
spooky stuff.
Yeah, it definitely takes a special couple to want to do horror nights.
Mhm.
And Dawn actually will not come to horror nights.
I know. I was just gonna say I had
Yeah.
no idea this was in the tribute store because
Yeah.
I don't go to horror nights.
Yeah.
That's why she left
So
just
I-
now.
Yeah, she got so scared that,
Leave.
yeah.
See, we're actually auditioning replacements for when it's allergy season. I can't talk for 4 minutes without coughing.
You're embarrassing me in front of my friends.
Yes.
Sorry, Jacob. But yeah, I had no idea that was in the tribute store.
Yeah, it was literally, I had
Crazy.
10 feet from them to me, not even 10 feet, I don't think, because I was in a hallway. I was in a one where everybody comes through.
Mhm.
And this was obviously the hot area because of the demodog.
Right.
And then the particles only came down
Yeah, they didn't do it.
they didn't do it constantly.
Oh.
So we had to wait for a second and wait
Hold
for
up,
them to come
everybody.
down.
And
Yeah.
It's really like shirts with on racks here and
Yes.
here. Like it's not
Yeah.
open.
Right.
Yeah. So it was challenging, but it's my favorite.
Yeah,
It's
Now I know
Across the
why
board.
the last time you and I were at Universal together and we went through the tribute store to get the macarons.
uh-huh.
And you were like so entranced by like the little setups in the
Oh,
tribute
yeah.
store, and I was like,
The
"Are you
tribute
really gonna bring
stores-
someone in the store for pictures?" But apparently,
Yeah.
yes, you are.
No, I mean the tribute stores are like probably one of my favorite things about Universal. Like every time they change it, I have to go see it.
Uh-huh.
Every time. So yeah, I don't know.
That's
a little-
so cool.
Little niche that I like about Universal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Yeah. Like if you like, when they did the Jurassic Park one, I mean,
Mhm.
they had legit, like you could put yourself into the scenes. You could sit on the
Like-
toilet from Jurassic
But also like
I
they
do
had
remember
had
that.
toys from back in the day and
Yeah.
that probably we had
Mhm.
at some point. I know Jacob had them.
I mean, if
so
we had a
yeah.
couple that like Jurassic Park on that one, we could have done
Mhm.
some real cool stuff. So
Yeah, I actually have a picture. Yeah, you took a picture of me sitting on that toilet. Yeah. Yeah.
The theme that when we went through the store, it was like that 1920s kind of look.
the
But I
jazz,
don't-
when they did the jazz, like started out.
Was it was it the
I remember
Orleans.
like the lampshade
It
and
was-
like the piano.
They did a
and-
Bayou
it was
one.
the Bayou. Are you
Oh,
talking about the
yeah,
Bayou?
yeah.
Because it
Mhm.
was recent, right?
Yeah, because there were alligators
Yeah.
on the floor. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah. It was the Bayou
Right by
because
the
it was
exit
for
door.
Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
It was for Mardi Gras. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah,
Love it.
always
Yeah, I love
my
this one.
favorite. I mean, there's multiple other ones that are definitely my favorite in this specific shoot, and then also in a couple other ones that we've done out there. Our first couple.
Yeah.
They were in it. They dressed the part, everything.
We actually had scare actors like in photos that were like.
Mhm.
I
they
remember
saw what was
that. I
happening.
remember that shoot, the first Halloween Horror Nights. one.
Yeah. Yes, but
They
this
would come
one's
up and actually like
And-
they understood what was going on.
Yeah.
So they would be like, "What?" and then
Yeah.
they would hold,
uh-huh.
and then
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yep, so good times.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing your
Yeah,
favorite
you're
picture with
welcome.
us. I actually
And it's a toss up between Jacob and this one. It's that's why I had to get both. I couldn't
Right.
decide.
I mean,
So.
the beauty of
I like the Jacob one.
Yeah, I could, really could not decide on this one. It was a hard,
It's really just a gem.
yeah, it really is.
So when we do this again next month, our favorite photos they'll be all different, and you can have
Yep. I always
more
say
Jacob ones.
my favorite photo is the one I take tomorrow. So,
Oh,
yeah.
And some photos, like when I was going through them too, like it may not be technically my favorite, but there's a story behind it.
Mhm.
The couple and I are close, so there's different
Mm.
layers to it sometimes as well.
sure.
Something memorable happened. Almost on one was. Do you remember the very first ring photo I did that was fun with the Lego minifigs
Mhm,
that
mhm.
also went kind of viral.
Mhm.
That was the first time I ever did anything fun. So that's
Mhm.
one of my favorite photos of all time. That was
Yeah.
up there. Just because that started
hmm
Right.
doing.
Well, there's different stories to your favorite photos all the time. Yeah, absolutely. Because there was, obviously, I sent you like
I know.
10,000 photos, and I was like, well, this one's got a good story, and this one's got a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it is hard to pick.
It is. It really is.
I was actually thinking of you on my wedding the other day. It was like spooky themed, but the ring shot, they had a coffin, like a little acrylic coffin for their ring box, and it said "Till death do us part."
Oh, we had
And
a
I-
coffin the other day, yeah.
I was able to like stand the coffin up in the back of the coffin and then have the rings on the edge of it, and then they had their like table number cards were like tarot cards, and it was the lovers, and it was two skeletons.
That's definitely my jam.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
I had them like laying on the bed behind the coffin up, and the ring. So then but it was a very Jacob shot.
Yeah.
It clearly wasn't your
Absolutely.
favorite photo though.
I mean,
I'm just kidding.
to be fair, I took it after I picked my favorite picture for this
Fair.
episode.
We hadn't even seen your favorite picture.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's
I
a good
have
one.
the print with me. So
Oh, are we going to go cough again? Oh, no.
No, I'm good. I have the print
Oh,
with me.
okay.
I'm just gonna bring it in
What the hell are you talking
so
about?
everyone can see.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Hold
jeez.
on.
This chick. Okay.
It's not too big. I think it'll fit.
This is ridiculous.
Oh,
I
God.
hate your guts.
You're going to knock stuff
Here,
over.
Can you hold this
Oh,
with
my
me?
God.
No, I'm not gonna hold it for you.
Hi, Stephanie's no longer here.
This is ridiculous. This is actually me as Cinderella though.
I've disappeared.
I doubt that was even in frame at all.
No, you probably saw a hoof.
Put it behind you so everyone can see
Oh,
it.
my God.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Okay. All right.
You
So,
just see a horse's ass. That's all we see. So actually, you know what? It's appropriate. Continue.
okay. So, anyways, so this photo obviously is of Cinderella, and the pony that's in it, Disney had started a breeding program for their ponies so they could breed more white ponies because they were having a hard time finding them, and they used the white ponies to pull Cinderella's carriage. So this was the actual first white pony that was born in the breeding program. And so the Tri-Circle D Ranch just wanted a picture to hang up inside the ranch. It was not for public consumption.
Yeah.
They just wanted a picture to commemorate things. So I got asked to do the photo, and my assistant that came with me is like a big horse person. I've actually brought her on multiple photo shoots.
She's a horse girl.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So thanks, Kristen, for your help. But so she came to help me like understand when the pony was stressed or not, so that I wasn't taking pictures while the pony looked stressed, because they want to display that, but I wouldn't know the difference. And then Cinderella was going to be there, and I only found out about the shoot like 2 days before.
Which is typical.
Sure. And I had zero information other than Cinderella and the pony and the castle. And so I was doing some research to get some inspiration, and I came across a My Little Pony picture of Cinderella with a little pony with his hoof up. And so that's what I literally brought the image with me
Was it Rainbow
to
Dash?
the photo shoot. I don't know.
Everything?
No, the pony.
Fluttershy?
I don't.
Okay.
Are you making
Jacob.
these names up?
No.
I think you are. I think he's making them up.
You can Google them. They're all legit.
No, No, I don't know which pony it was, or if it was even a regular. If it could have just been a special, I have no idea.
Pony B
Yeah, I don't
or
know.
something.
I don't know.
Princess Sparkle.
So I literally was so embarrassed, but I didn't know how else to explain it. So I'm like showing the picture on my phone to Cinderella. Like,
Do this.
This is the pose I want to do.
Please do this.
But they had brought the carriage to the castle, and so they wanted the carriage in the photo, but they didn't want it obvious.
That's
That
not even
there
a regular
were-
carriage, though.
No, this is
No.
just like a
That's-
display.
That's her
That's the-
carriage from the movie, isn't it?
like
No.
from Lily James.
No.
No.
They
That
put-
one's all gold.
They put that one in Magic Kingdom though.
Yeah,
sometimes
There is, they put it on
But it's
display.
like a photo op.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
not, it
Yeah.
doesn't pull
Correct.
anything. So they were like, we want it in the photo, but we don't want it obvious that there aren't horses attached to it. So I had to kind of like use Cinderella and the pony, her name's Lily, to block part of the carriage.
The pony's name is Lily.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cinderella's name is
Cinderella.
Okay.
or Cindy.
Just making sure.
Yeah, yes. And actually Lily's mom, Lady, was there as well. She was like just off frame. So when we had to give Lily a break, she could go by mom and like chill out for a second. And we had like tons of people from the ranch, and we finally like get situated. We're ready to go. And they're like, oh, by the way, we're opening the park in 7 minutes. So good luck. And I was like,
Typical.
okay,
Yeah.
no problem. It's fine. It's fine.
Very typical.
So yeah, so that's the image that we ended up with. 3 days later, maybe suddenly I was getting tagged in pictures on the internet because it did not stay just for the ranch. It
Yeah.
went.
It
I
went
don't
all over
remember
the
who
place.
it went out
I know
from
Disney
first.
Weddings posted it.
Disney Weddings did, but it was on all of the like travel blog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
You know,
WD.
Dawn, when I saw this, I will tell you that I almost I loved it so much that I literally almost teared up a little bit when I first saw
Aw.
it. Because it's such an impactful
Mhm.
photo and it just says everything about Disney. So
Well, I can't take very much credit because, like I said, it's literally a My Little Pony picture.
a sparkle pony did the pose first.
Like it is.
This Princess Sparkle.
It is very much a My Little Pony pose.
Mhm.
But I just felt like that was, I mean, it was that way for My Little Pony for a reason because it's the
Yeah.
cutest
Mhm.
thing. But yeah, it was not my first photo with live animals, but my first one with a pony for sure.
Mhm.
Castle screwed it.
Hmm?
That's-
It is not.
Jacob.
And I did get lucky that it was early enough that the sun hadn't come up over the horizon yet, so we didn't have like this spot can get really gross really
Yes.
fast.
Yeah.
As the sun comes up, you get like
That
this
directional
stark
light,
diagonal
yep.
line
Mhm.
across the castle.
Mhm.
So it was the right time of year. This was in April. I had just gotten back from vacation and I got the phone call like 2 days after I got back, and then I went in a couple days later to do this. So
But the soft light helps because even if you corrected for the harsh light, it still would have been just a harsh
Mhm.
photo. The fact
Yeah.
that it's so soft.
Yeah, and I was able to use like very minimal lighting, which was better for Lily. And I've gotten to see Lily out on the job.
Yeah.
She's all grown up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
She's all grown up
I know.
now.
Anytime I have the carriage on a job, I'm always like, "Is Lily here?
Yeah.
Can I see Lily?" So she was 5 weeks old when we took this picture.
5
a
weeks.
little
Wow.
baby.
Little Bobo.
2019?
Yeah.
You can tell because of the castle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it hadn't
Mm-hmm.
been painted
It
yet.
hadn't been painted yet. Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
You can always predate. I can predate all my photos
Yes.
now.
Yep.
I think this would not have worked as well if they had painted the castle
I
already
agree.
because
the blues.
the
It
blues
would
would
have
have been too harsh.
Too strong. Yeah. They
No,
match her
blue's
dress
perfect.
the way it
Mhm.
is. They match her
Mhm.
Lily's bridal,
Mhm.
Cinderella's dress, perfectly right there. But if you're right, if
Yeah.
they would have painted it, it would have been too blue.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I can take very little credit for like the majority of this because it's a beautiful setting, like a professional's Cinderella's a professional. Lily, we had tons of
It's
people
the real
supporting.
Cinderella.
I'm saying she knows what
No,
to do.
take that credit because
But
listen, you looked up that little pony
Yeah.
photo.
I did my
You did the
research.
legwork. You know, you knew what you
Yeah.
wanted.
But pulling what I am proud of is being able to pull it in all together
Yes.
for that one moment because we literally only took pictures for 6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we had to run.
Run out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they had to get
The pony
2
out
ponies
Yeah.
out of Magic Kingdom.
Dawn had to
Load it
carry
up.
Lily.
on her back.
She's like, we gotta get out of
Dawn's
here.
like, Dawn's like with Lily on her back, running slow motion away
Yeah.
from the castle.
So, and the reason I have such a gigantic print of it, I don't regularly print my.
No, she leaves it all in her house.
She's yeah.
It's right above her bed.
It's right above her.
It's free.
I was gonna say her TV, but okay.
But the Disney Event Group building on the second floor, they have prints like going all the way around of different, just like samples for people to see the work as they do tours for the public. And they're renovating the building right now, so they were getting rid of all of the images, and I got to
The funniest
take them
part
home.
is it was like photos all from like the 80s and 90s.
I know, this was the
And
only
then
new one.
One new one. Gone.
I know, and I didn't even know it was getting printed. I just showed up one day
And it was up?
there. Yeah, it was the first one when you came up the elevator, the first one on the left.
Oh, I think I
You
remember
know
it.
the
but
edit
yeah.
room, that photo above the lockers, that event photo?
Mm-hmm.
I took that.
Oh,
Yeah, that was from like 2015 or something.
Above the lockers.
Yeah, above
like where the full timers have.
and the batteries. There's that like it's like a pirate themed
Oh
event.
yes, it's like that pop out
Yeah.
thing. That one where they had all those little
Yeah.
pop outs. Yeah.
With Cammy
I took
and
Mhm.
that.
Darren and
No, that's
that's one downstairs.
downstairs.
Mm-mm.
It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
it's just that it's like a pirate. It's an event, and they made to try and show off. But I was like, that's still up there. I was like, that wasn't even 20. That was like 2012.
Mm.
Yeah, that room's not getting any touch up stuff, so
That's right.
it'll still be there.
That's for another podcast.
So yeah,
Good photo, bro.
Yes.
Not
Good
that
photos
get
to
off topic,
everybody.
But I took a photo of the horse that does the Headless Horseman once.
oh
For a
really?
not so
Oh,
scary
fun.
photo. But that was very scary because that is a big horse.
Yeah.
And it was
Yes.
at
Those are
night, and they were
big.
like, try not to use too much flash. And I'm like, what now? And it's a black horse with
Yeah.
black eyes
Yeah.
that look into your soul.
Mhm.
And I was like, what am I supposed to do?
Are those the same horses that pull the other carriage?
Yeah.
The Landau?
Yes.
Mhm. One of them was
Yeah.
named Jacob.
I was gonna say one of them's named Jacob.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
I actually think he retired.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
He was,
that's fun.
he was a big boy.
They
Yeah.
all are.
Mm-hmm.
They're a little scary.
Mhm.
So
I just want to cuddle him.
yeah. All right. So what did you guys shoot this week?
Well, that's a fun fact because we shot together.
Mm, we did.
Working's always better
Yes.
when we're with friends.
On a very, 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 very long day.
It was a 15-hour day at the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of like
Stop.
running from place to place to place to place to
Mhm.
place. Yeah. And pulling
Yeah.
wagons and
I'll let you tell the story because I was the second. I got to be the second. So tell us the lead.
I mean, we had a wedding at the pavilion. We started out at the bride's room and well, actually we went to the groom's room first over at Saratoga.
That's right.
Then traveled to the bride over at the Grand Floridian. Photographed her getting ready. Then we did some first looks, some vows,
Family photos.
some family photos prior to the ceremony.
Which we always recommend. Love it.
Yes.
Mhm. We
Yeah,
got
first
so
looks are
many.
amazing. Especially when you have such a time constraint on weddings. Like I think couples often forget about themselves being photographed.
Mhm.
And that's where our job is to come in and say, hey, we need to get the two of you photographed.
Especially on a Disney wedding.
Yes, especially on a Disney wedding. And you know, all but bets are off for that because we have to tell them, we have to strong arm them a little bit and be like, hey, I know you want a photo with your aunt, but we can get that later.
Right.
Let's focus on the two of you. So
The ones that might get printed and hung
correct,
on the wall.
Yeah.
correct. So yes, we did that. We had the carriage,
Should have it first.
which we had to split up.
So-
We had to. Okay,
I'll
go
tell
ahead.
the story.
Go ahead. Good.
So
Because you went
Yeah,
with
so-
carriage. Yeah.
we had the carriage. It was still under the Grand Convention Hall or
Mhm.
Center, the porte cochere. So Steph runs ahead to get the gear ready for the pavilion. I
Mhm.
stay behind because I'm just going to get a shot of it walking.
Mhm.
Her getting in, parents getting in,
Very simple,
walking.
Yeah.
easy.
Basic.
As we pull up, the entertainment manager's like, we're under there's lightning,
Yeah.
so we have to stay. So they're like, can you...
Mind you, this was
Oh no! Can you
this
fill
was
the time?
like 2 days
Oh.
before hurricane. Like 2 days
Uh,
before hurricane. Yeah.
So I was like, I mean, yes, I can, but... So I start, I do photos of her with the ponies, her on the carrot, like, I'm trying to fill all this. Also, texting Stephanie, like, hey,
Yeah.
just so you know,
Yeah.
they want to, it ended up being 30 minutes
Oh my gosh.
total.
Yeah.
But they kept, and I'm like, okay, but like, she's supposed to get married, like...
Yeah.
So at one point, they go and get the groom from the pavilion and drive him back because they're not sure that the ponies are even going to get over there. The carriage is going to get over there. So they're like, do photos with him. But the minute he gets over, I get him for one photo. They're like, okay, we need to get him over back to the wedding.
Oh my gosh.
But I still have to walk back to the pavilion.
Oh, was it raining?
No.
No, not yet.
Lightning?
Not
It
yet.
was just lightning in that area.
Yeah.
The worst part too is when it's lightning in the area and you know it is, but you don't hear it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like you're like, could you at least give me a lightning bolt?
I know, right?
There.
At least make this cool.
Yeah, it's like the planners used to be like, give me either a torrential downpour or nothing, because at least when they see it, you can be like,
Right.
see?
Yeah.
So they did say that they would, if the lightning stops, they would bring the carriage over to the pavilion. But I also was like, I can't have 200,000 photos of just her.
Right.
Because he did a full bridal portrait with her on the carriage because he had so much time
And
with
I'm
her.
trying to slow and
I'm like,
really
Jacob, you got to get over here because you got to like test your light. We have to, you know, I'm like,
Yeah, because it's not like Anna's going to wait for you to walk.
But then I was like, okay, I was starting to head over when she called, or the planner says the groom's on his way, so you can do photos with them because they might not get it afterwards. So I'm like, well, I can't leave now.
No.
Yes.
Long story
But
short.
you got to ride over to the pavilion
Yes,
though.
they did.
Yeah.
They parkoed us over.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
And the bride got into the limo. They go over there. Wedding goes normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Except
Very
for the
normal.
bubbles. It did start pouring though.
Oh, the bubbles.
Yeah.
The infamous bubbles. Yes. And I fell
She did.
because it was so soapy on the
Oh,
front.
that's the same wedding.
This is the same wedding.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. Yep. Literally did the splits, but I saved my equipment. You know.
Naturally.
Yeah.
At
Crashed my knee, but saved my equipment.
For anyone who listened to episode 6, that's just what we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys.
But didn't get hurt. Like I have no kneecap anymore, so it's just
There's no cartilage.
it's like cushion now. It's not. It's not. You know,
I'm like picturing Harry Potter.
when you had no bones.
Yeah.
It's just a fluid.
Pretty much.
Just like a-
That's pretty much. It's just my kneecap's just hanging there. Yeah. So that was normal, but then afterwards, it's kind of the same thing happened.
The carriage did come over.
Yes.
Oh,
During it, lightning stopped, but
we could only put it under the porte-cochere over
it
there.
started again.
Because it started again, and they were like, we can't take the ponies out of this. So we had to do all of the photos of them two right there. It was a lot of tight shots. I did get a couple wide shots with blocking, and I lifted her veil up so I could block people because also all the guests were standing there too.
Undercover.
Yeah.
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 Which, I mean, understandable, but makes your job 10
Yes.
times harder.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah. So they were like, hey, you can do some more photos. And I'm like, I don't have any more to do. We've done enough
Also,
at
there
this
was
point.
like a
Yeah.
rehearsal that was like there already trying to get it
Yes.
as well.
Yeah. And I'm like, we're good if you guys are good. I kept, because at some point you just have to say that.
Right.
In order to keep things rolling. So anyway, so then we, went over to the reception. Reception was at the rotunda.
They did a good job though of they didn't do the 7:30 ceremony into a 9 o'clock dessert party. They didn't do the dessert party
good.
at all.
Yes.
So we had
yes. So
time.
we had like 2 hours between.
Yeah.
So we took them back over. This is where our back and forth, like all over the place was. We took them back over to the Grand.
Yep.
Did a bunch of photos in the Grand, like staircase and chandelier. We went to the bar, and I mean, we took photos in the bar.
Yeah.
Let me preface this.
I did get us a table. Remember?
Yes, you did. You did. And then hopped on the monorail. Took the monorail for a loop. Did we get off? I don't remember. No.
No, we went.
No,
all
we
the way
just
around.
did a loop
Yeah.
in the monorail taking photographs. Luckily,
was
we were
super
able.
cute, though.
Yeah, it was very cute. We were able to get quite a few angles and
Especially when
shots.
they were going to make
Yeah.
it so scary.
Yes.
Once we left Magic Kingdom, like it was
So it
empty.
was empty, yeah.
Yes. So that back end loop was perfect because everybody got off at Magic Kingdom.
And then when they see 2 photographers with lights, 2 videographers,
Yeah.
people would walk into the doors. We're like, nope.
Nope. And they would like clear out. They're like, okay.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after that, I think we had like maybe 45 minutes to throw some food down our gullets real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say food, they're snacks.
Yeah.
They're,
Pretzels.
energy bars and
Yeah.
that's it. They're not, it's not real food.
We just do food like savages.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's okay.
Pretty much. Then we met for the bus to take us over to the rotunda.
American Adventure.
American
It was
Adventure.
at
Yes.
At Epcot.
At
At
Epcot. Yes. Then, yeah, the rest of the night was
It's a
pretty
normal reception.
normal reception.
Until you couldn't.
We had Mickey and Mindy. Yeah, we couldn't leave until the next bus came. So, but that was okay. That was okay.
But it was 15 hours. We were very tired.
leave.
Yeah.
Very
I mean, it's funny because we used to do those like 18-hour days, like no problem.
You know, that was 10 years ago.
I know. And now I'm just like 15 hours. I'm like, oh my God. And the next day you're like everything hurts and you're dying and
Mhm.
every part of you is creaking and
Yep.
I used to call it, we used to be in Wishes shape. Because the Wishes,
Mhm.
back in the old day, Disney had these different categories for weddings, and Wishes weddings were the biggest,
The
longest weddings. So I'd be like, we're not in
Mhm.
Wishes shape anymore. And that's true. We're not in
I'm not in memory
No.
shape anymore.
and do we ever get that back? I don't know. I think the older
the
we
only way
get,
to
we
it back
don't.
is to work 8 of them in a row like we did.
Ugh.
Which is about to be what
Well,
I'm doing for the
that's
next
true.
month.
This month has been definitely that. October, just so everybody out there, knows, it's our busiest time.
Mm-hmm.
The
October's
fact that we had
insane.
this day to do this
Yeah.
I know.
is
I know.
unbelievable.
Exactly.
It's literally like my only day off.
Yes.
Then you guys were with that couple one more time, right?
Yes. Well, technically 2 more times, but
Mhm.
the next
This
yeah. So the next week, it wasn't the next day. There was a day in between.
Yeah, it was Saturday. We shot the wedding
Yeah.
Thursday, and then we did the
Yes.
bridal portrait on Saturday.
Yeah. So we did a portrait session with him on Saturday, which was really cute. I think we rode every transportation with him.
We got on the Skyliner.
We got on the Skyliner with
Really?
him. Yes.
that's
And it was
cute.
actually, ironically enough, it was my first time on the Skyliner.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd never ridden it because I just have a thing with closed in places like that, and then like being up in the air. I mean,
And don't look at how teeny tiny the little connection point is that
Mm.
actually sits on the cable. Don't
so
look at
I mean, it didn't bother me because when once you get in that thing, it feels bigger
Yeah.
than what it is, and it was a lot of fun. Like you did this little scoot up, like yeah, it was really
zip.
yeah. So that was fun. But we got some really cute photos on that
that's
as well.
And they weren't
So
super busy, so we were
No.
able to just hop on one.
yeah, we would just hop on, hop off, really quick.
Oh,
We just went from
Yeah,
Riviera to Caribbean,
and
on,
then
off.
back.
nice.
Yeah.
Back to Riviera.
Mhm.
Well, that's smart.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
Don't
real
go all the
easy.
way to Epcot.
Oh no, we didn't do that. But yeah, we did that, and obviously we photographed around the grounds as well.
Mhm.
So, really sweet couple, like, yeah, good peoples. Yeah.
Cool. Fun.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I'm
Did
gonna
you
have to
hear
look at my
did you
notes.
hear my stomach growl?
I did.
I'm hungry.
Control yourself.
I can't. I got starlights coming out of my butt.
Oh god, you're about to.
Mhm.
So what did I do this weekend? Okay, so I had 2 freelance weddings. So those are always rough because I'm completely by myself. They didn't even have videographers, so I was the only
Just-
only person like that. And one of them didn't even have a planner.
It's usually
So-
pretty. You end up being the everything.
Right,
You're
exactly.
the only professional there
Mhm.
sometimes.
Mhm.
Yeah, because they had staff from the venue, but they were literally there to like unlock doors and like they like held the doors for them as they came down the aisle, but they didn't like gather.
So you were the
people.
point person.
I was the only person.
Yeah.
So like even I had to go to the couple and be like, okay, so who's gonna tell you when it's time to go down the aisle? Because I can't.
Correct.
Because I have to be at the front of the aisle to get you coming down the aisle.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah. So like assigning jobs. Thankfully, I have had one where I had to. The DJ asked me to help him bus tables because they didn't have catering either. They had Olive Garden, but the Olive Garden literally just dropped everything off. And the family was like putting food out in trays and stuff. And so before we like kicked things off after dinner, the DJ was like, hey, can you come help me bus the tables? And I was like,
Is this what you told me about?
I'm not sure that I'm supposed to be bussing tables. It was a mess.
Yeah,
I
you've been
can't
like,
even say anything to it. Like
I've been
I'm like
Sorry, I'm a
totally.
union photographer.
Yeah. I was like,
I mean, not that that's below you, but
no, but like I don't have
You-
gloves. I
yeah,
don't,
you
like,
have a
I'm not
certain-
gonna pick
you
up
have a-
people's napkins.
yeah.
I haven't
Like
done food handling in a long time. Safety course in a long
I've
time.
never done it. Yeah, I just looked at it and was like, I don't think that's what we're supposed to do.
I actually had to get something from my car.
yeah.
Or I would have said yes and then just not done it.
And
Yeah.
and
I'd be
like
sure, and then just
to add insult to
Gotten busy.
injury,
Uh-huh.
it was to clear the plates of the food that I wasn't allowed to eat.
Oh,
this is not what you told me about.
Yeah. So thankfully it wasn't that bad. They at least had caterers. They had like 4 rivers, I think. So they had like legit caterers. So it wasn't that bad. And the DJ was like one of the regular DJs I work with when I freelance. So that was good. We had each other. But
Just clinging on to someone.
Yeah.
Just someone I know.
yeah, anyone. And then I also had a wedding at Disney. And I was the second photographer, which was amazing.
Ooh, nice. Nice.
Nothing better.
Yeah.
You know, as a lead, when you do lead all the time,
Yes.
it is so refreshing to just be able to like point my camera anywhere, get an amazing shot. I don't have to set it up. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to do math. I don't have to, you know what I mean?
We
It's
discussed this
amazing.
in a previous episode.
Yes.
Where people
Yes.
that would like, oh, I want to be a lead so bad. I'm like, that's because you've never been a lead.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Truth.
And I was with someone who was like still excited to be the lead.
And
So,
you're like, go,
I
little
was like-
one.
Go for it.
I will help you in any
Yes.
way you need.
Yeah. And it was Seabreeze Point. So it was hot.
Was it
Um,
midday?
Yeah, it was a 2:30.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
oh.
Mm-hmm. So
This
Seabreeze
is
Point,
before the weather got nice, too.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, it was
Yeah.
hot. And then the reception was at Yacht Club. So it's always a pain in the butt with those because you like have to park at Boardwalk and then like you have to make the call.
Make
Like,
the
is the
call.
couple gonna want pictures around the lake where like you should park at Yacht Club and walk to Boardwalk and walk back to Yacht Club? Or like can you just luckily we did getting ready photos with them before and we asked like, hey, where are you taking transportation over to the yacht club? Are you walking? They're like, oh, we just want to walk, just the 2 of us. Like, we just want to have that time to ourselves. Or like, cool, we'll drive over and see you there.
We will go
So-
all the way this
Yes.
way just to not walk in the heat for a minute and a half.
yes.
And I support
Drink
that
water and eat
100%.
snacks.
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah.
what you do. Like
Yes.
you take those little moments to
So
eat,
much
drink water and eat snacks.
They had one of the like coolers of water out there for everyone, and it was completely
It's-
empty.
yeah.
And that's a big cooler for
Mhm.
just like 40 people.
Mhm.
So anyways, so we did that. And then so note that's 3 weddings in 1 week. And it just keeps getting worse as we go into busy season.
Yeah.
But I'm also the president for the Maitland Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, here we go.
And we had Jacob's so supportive of all of my endeavors.
I photographed for you for the Maitland Chamber. I don't want to hear about supportive.
But yeah, so we had an expo. It was Maitland Chamber of Oviedo Winter Springs Chamber and the Castleberry Chamber. We did an expo at the Oviedo Mall. And so I kind of photographed the expo, and then we had a little photo op station. We had one of our balloon vendors made like a cute balloon backdrop for us, and people could come in and get free pictures. So Mike was there doing the photos because you were busy. You were on that wedding
I was on the
because it was
wedding.
on Thursday.
Mm.
So
Sorry,
yeah, so Mike was there.
I took Jacob from you.
I'm
That's
very
okay.
popular. So
I-
this is what I deal with.
Oh,
Sorry, I
God.
just keep pulling Mike out of retirement. Like
That's okay. I'm sure he
likes
likes it.
I
Yeah.
think he's worked for me like 4 times.
Nice.
In the
Nice.
months that he's been retired.
Yeah, I actually
So-
might have some for him
Yeah.
soon, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I did this week.
Nice. Very good.
Busy
Oh,
season.
God, it just doesn't stop.
October.
Mhm.
October.
So
Story time.
story time.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Oh,
The fun stuff. Okay, so we Jake and I both have touched on the fact that like photography was not our first career endeavor. So we thought we would each share a story from a previous job. So I'll go first.
I want you to go first.
Okay. So I used to be a teacher. I taught in Orange County in Orlando. And I only lasted 2 years before I couldn't do it anymore.
You just didn't have that Michelle Pfeiffer Dangerous Minds in you, did you?
I really needed it, Like,
You're supposed to
It
turn the
was-
chair around.
You're supposed to
backwards.
come in drunk, like, you know, absolutely.
Can you do a rap?
it was tough. I did not attempt to rap. Although I did have one
I would have
student.
liked to see Dawn rap.
This is not my story, but I did have one student who drew all of the time in class and wouldn't pay attention. And finally I was like, fine, draw what's on the board. And he drew like the whole scene of me like standing at the board, and he like
Really?
wrote
That's
everything.
cool.
I have it somewhere.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
All right.
I don't think he absorbed any of it, but at least he was on task.
Yeah, at
somewhat.
least he was looking
He
at you,
technically
sort
took
of.
notes that day.
He did. He did.
But yeah, so I had a rough group of students. I had 5 classes, and they all had like 36 plus students. And it was a lot to manage. I had 2 classes where like 36 kids each, and like 15 of them were ESOL students, and like another 10 or 15 had individualized learning plans for various reasons. And none of them were on grade level. Like they had all previously failed math at some point, but were just pushed ahead because they were in 10th grade and needed to pass the FCAT. So like they just had to be there. And I had like another teacher who would come in and try to help, just so we could like divide the class and provide more individualized attention. But I had a better hold on the students, and like she just made it worse somehow because like they did not respect her at all, and just it made it worse. So anyways, I was out of work one day and I had a substitute, and I came back. As I walked up, I could see one of my desks was on the roof of my portable.
It's always a good start.
And also came to find out that the substitute was fired midday because she was like screaming like crazy at the kids, and just like it was complete chaos. And so over the last 2 periods of the day, they had to have 4 administrators run my classes. This is what I did on a daily basis, and this is why I'm no
you can handle it
longer
by
teaching.
yourself.
Yeah, like good luck, Dawn. Go do this by yourself, but it'll take 4 of us if you're not here. So I tried not to miss school anymore after that because they were just out of control. And they just, they took every opportunity. So if you showed any amount of weakness, they were going for it.
They're like animals.
So yeah, I still don't know how
you show
the
any
desk
weakness.
got on top of the portable.
I was just about to ask you that. Like
I don't know how it got down either, but
did they just chuck it up there? Or
I think so.
Okay.
This is good teenage stuff, man.
It's always good to think about the fact that they were all old enough to drive, yet behaved like this.
Scary.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
nuts.
scary.
It was crazy. So yeah,
hats off to you for being a teacher, because that's a hard gig.
like I said, I only lasted 2 years, and then I had to.
At least you lasted 2 years.
That's true.
I would have lasted a week.
And now you're making less.
That's
than
true.
that.
Yeah.
Hey, I am not.
No way. No way.
I'm not. I mean, if I had stayed, I'd be making more as a teacher, but that was only because I started teaching in 2006. So that's a long time ago. Ugh.
Yeah.
God, I would have been.
Don't think about it.
18th year of
Don't think
teaching.
about it. Just don't think about it.
That old lady teacher.
Did I do that math right? Oh my God, I did.
Don't think about it.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Jacob.
I'm going?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
So
excited.
this is going to go. I don't know if I've told you this one. Maybe.
Jacob's I will preface this by saying Jacob's got a ton
Yes.
of Jacob stories.
If you ever want to be like a
Yeah.
cast member, not like when we were cast members as the photography department, but
Right.
actual in the trenches cast members,
Right.
you're going to see some stuff. So this one was when I worked at Rock and Roller Coaster, the ride, and in attractions. And this happened at Unload, which is the end of the ride. So we call it Unload. So to kind of preface it up, in those days, they have since fixed all this now. There's a gate there. But in those days, there was no gate to the gift shop. So the one cast member in the back at Unload Advance had the control panel, and they would control the ride, send it. And then me, as the unloader at this time, would stand kind of here to make sure no one comes running. Sometimes kids that didn't want to ride would come running out when they see their parents coming, because the train is coming right here. We have an open track. Train's coming on. So it was there to stop people from running. And then, of course, really it was just to talk to the other persons while the train's coming. But the train would start coming in, and then we would walk backwards with the train and kind of end up in row 1, because then we can't let guests go behind me, because that goes into open track too. You always have to prevent, because guests are like lemmings. They'll just go into open track and die. So it's always brilliant. So basically, and you would try to theme it, welcome backstage, because it's, if you know the right. So I'm walking back as train's coming in, and I'm walking backwards, and I'm just like, and I see some weird movement in row 3. So at Rock and Roller Coaster, each of the odd numbered rows are bigger, they're wider seats, so they're easier accessible to get in, and they're in the front of each car, so you can see them better. And I see lots of weird movements, and like a dad, and this is going to sound weird, but have you ever seen the JFK assassination video? You know when Mrs. JFK is like leaning over to him? That's what I'm seeing.
Oh no.
So I'm like, it looks weird, right? It's not natural.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And the dad kind of like, the train's coming to a stop, and the dad, it kind of leans back, and I realized his son, maybe 10 or something, has thrown up. And not just thrown up, he's thrown up a lot. And it has covered himself, the harness is over. And then I realized too, as this happens, I hear the bar that's going to pop the harnesses. So I scream because I don't have a control panel.
no.
I scream like, hold the harnesses.
God.
But it's too late because it's an automatic thing. And the harness goes foink up and it goes splat, 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 splat down rows 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And I just was like,
I don't know if I can listen to this story anymore.
I just stood there frozen like, I don't know what to do. This is above my pay grade.
My God.
So literally, and the other guy, remember, he has the full control panel. He has the phone, he has everything. I was like, call managers, call Reedy Creek, call everyone. Because we have bodily fluids. We have so much.
On
And
so
at
many
first-
people.
Yeah, and at first the people like that got hit were like, water? Like, what is it? And then people started getting out and saw him throw up. So a couple people threw up on the unload dock because they realized they had
Oh,
puke
it was
all over
a
them.
chain reaction.
Yeah. So I'm just like, shut it down. Shut it down. There's nothing we can do here.
Nobody out.
Yes.
So luckily there was a manager in the office, which was right behind, and they heard over like the intercom before even that. So they came running and we got people out. We were able to get the train off into the maintenance bay because the maintenance bay is right there just to get it off, and then we can at least keep cycling. And they took, we had to call the ambulances because again, we have body fluid. So they still need to be just checked out.
Mm-hmm.
And so much free clothes were given and so much, and so many custodial cast members had to come.
I would have passed out
Yeah.
if I would have been in those.
Everywhere.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
And then it was in the car, so they had to like clean it out of the car. And those poor custodials, like they had to like actually like
Scoop
scoop
it out.
it. They couldn't just put Voban on it because it's in the car.
Mhm.
Like it's all the cracks.
And it's not like you can hose it out. Like,
They had to just,
You have to pressure wash it out.
and it was
Ugh.
Campbell's chunky soup. It was
oh God.
it was a lot of chicken strips and fried chunks.
I love his like
So
descriptions of things. It's
but I will
just
never
goes
forget that
beyond.
Oh my gosh.
as long as I live.
Wow.
Mm.
Mm-mm. No thanks.
So beat that.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
No, I will not beat that because I will not beat either one of those stories.
That's true.
Honestly,
Let's end with a
like
lame one.
yeah, I'm boring. I've always been in photography ever since I can remember, ever since high school. So haven't really had that many jobs outside of it. Yeah,
Nothing.
not really. And I don't have any cool stories either. I mean, I was a photography manager. I worked at McDonald's at one point, like when I was like 17. That was like my first job.
Yeah.
My second job was a portrait studio. So yeah, always been in photography, and nothing crazy like that's
Oh, you had
happened.
crazy stories.
I mean,
Well, but not outside of photography.
right? Crazy stories within photography,
Absolutely.
100%. I've got a lot of those. I could tell you those all day long. But yeah, before that, I was just a teenager doing my thing, and that was it. Yeah.
So
nothing.
Jake and I had this conversation the other night. We wish we had this like energy around photography that we do now, but like back when we were 20.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
I'm very jealous that
Absolutely.
you've been on the same path this whole time.
Yeah.
And like when I think about like how much I put into becoming a teacher and then growing in teaching and then put into getting my master's and then then learning how to work it out. Like I put so many hours and years into learning so many other things that like
But now you're a jack of
starting
all
at-
trades now. You know?
Yeah. I mean, she didn't say master of
That's
anything.
true.
He's a jack of all trades.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But
Oh no, Jacob's the master. We just give that to him because he's gonna say it anyway.
No, we are two very mediocre photographers. Please do not hire us.
No, we're the worst.
Yeah.
Please hire us.
And if you can,
promise we're good.
and if you can hire us all three together, then there's a show. Then
Yeah.
there's some entertainment.
Yeah, then
Yes.
we bring
Yes.
entertainment plus
Mm.
Have we ever
photography.
worked on a three of us on a shoot together?
I'm sure we have.
I feel like we would remember it though, because that'd be wild.
But I'm thinking like a big. Well, no, Stephanie might not have been there. You never did the conventions with us.
No, I didn't. I was out of conventions at that point. So
Maybe not.
And you'd already left for the one big wedding that I would have.
Mhm.
put you
Oh
on.
no, we all did work together when I was first starting in weddings at Disney. You guys were shooting.
Oh, did you?
You were
Were you-
lead. You were second. I was shadowing.
were you training?
Yeah, and we were doing.
Ah.
I remember as we
What
were
wedding was
doing.
it? Tell me.
Yeah.
God, it would have been 2015.
I'll look it up.
But we did fireworks from in front of Atlantic Dance. That was the first time I watched anyone do fireworks.
I mean, I've done that before.
Yeah.
I've done that a bunch of
I
times.
know.
bunch of times. So
But that was like one of my first, because I shadowed you, and then I did another one with Amy, where like I think it was only supposed to be one photographer, and I got put on it as a second to like practice and get used to things. That was at France at Epcot.
yeah, but that
I
was
know-
pre us now. Like that was pre our
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
But-
know for sure we all worked together on that.
But
You would have been
us
new, so-
now is a party.
Well, but we were,
Us now
'cause
is
you
a
and I
party.
had done a lot for
Yeah.
conventions, and I
Yeah.
had assisted you a lot
Yes,
on bridals.
correct. Yes.
If
So
you
like
were
we
new,
knew each other.
I
Yeah.
would have given you full Jacob until I know that.
Oh no! This was
Okay.
already
Yes.
full Jacob, because I started in 2014, so I
So
had
I
been
trust you.
assisting, but it was just when they were putting me on because I had been assisting, doing minis, doing conventions.
Gotcha.
I just hadn't been a second on weddings yet, and that's what I was training on. And
Yeah.
I feel like it might have been specifically because of fireworks that I was on it
Maybe. Yeah.
to learn fireworks.
Mhm.
As
Even
a-
though that's like the worst place
Yeah.
to do fireworks
Yeah, it really
from.
is. Yeah.
And as a second, I'm like, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna stand over here.
Yeah, because it's hard to be a second on those,
Yeah.
like right
Yeah.
there. Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, you have to learn fireworks, but once you do, it's the easiest thing in the world
Yeah.
to photograph. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So
Well, and I learned, so I was with you guys for that. Then I also remember learning from either Mike or Rick or Joe, one of them, or maybe even Amy. I don't know, but where they were doing like a 1 second or shooting on bulb, like
Bulb.
completely
Mhm.
different. But you guys had the LED panel,
yeah,
and so you were shooting it like
We like to
totally
change it
different
up.
style. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Both are fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. They just have different looks.
Mm-hmm. But
Yeah.
and I mean, from the boardwalk, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You're so far
You're gonna
away
be
from
you're
the
gonna have a
fireworks.
lot of bouquet in there,
Yeah.
no matter
So.
what.
Cool. All
All right.
right.
So we don't know how to end these, so this is
No.
what we do.
We just-
Okay.
Stephanie.
Yay! Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.